Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts, Vertek and Chibi Bree, are back from their latest adventure.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode 46 of the Golden Feather. Welcome and welcome back. Today we have Sorios, aka Brother Sorios. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me tonight. Well, it's 7 o'clock over here.
Yeah, it's still night. And we have the Vertek, and I realize my head is like getting cut off, so I'm gonna lower myself. There we go. Yay.
Yeah, my forehead too.
Sorry.
Oh. There we go. I'm in frame. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Looking good.
Everybody, I'm going to apologize ahead of time for being so neckbeardy today. Just saying.
Same.
I got stuck messing around with a trailer hitch.
Yeah, we have some news, but we'll get back to that at the end of the show. But more importantly, Brother Sorios was a group member of a guild that we were a part of once upon a time. And, it's been a few years since I've really had the chance to sit down and chat, and a lot has happened in terms of Ashes of Creation. So, first off, I want to say welcome back, and welcome to all of you new wonderful Ashes of Creation enthusiasts. Or curiosityists.
Or nerds.
To add a little context, Sorios kind of vanished off the face of the Ashes Earth as far as keeping in touch with news. I'd reach out every once in a while like, oh my gosh, have you heard about that? And he would look at me with a blank face and go, I don't know what you're talking about. So we figured we'd get him on because of so much news and so many reveals and so much publicity that's been going on.
So many things.
I want to get a fresh take. So we assigned him some homework and we're here to see how he did.
Yes. It's time. Wait, where's the ruler?
Yeah.
Oh, I got
What's
one
your
actually
grade?
right here.
Oh, perfect.
Right here. Does this count?
That, you know
works,
what?
that
That's
works.
close enough. It works. So feel free to follow Sorios. He actually made a Twitter just for us. At SBS. SB Sorios. Sword Brother Sorios.
Yeah, it's in the frame.
Yep, it's in the frame right below him. And what brought you back? Why? Where was my whisper? You know what, Z? I was told you were told.
It was sent. Actually, I'll let's see. When exactly did I send it? I think it was literally minutes ago. Oh, nope. I lied.
Let me guess. You had it all typed up and you didn't send it.
Maybe. There you go. I sent it.
Okay, so Sorios, what brought you back?
Well, I will admit that I've been keeping in touch with some members from the community for the last 3 years. You wouldn't know it because I've been absent a lot from the Discord, and for good reason. At first, when after the game on Kickstarter came out, I was all on top of all over the place in the Ashes Discord, but I will admit that it was kind of getting in the way of... I was getting too sucked into the Discord. It was addicting, and I enjoyed it, but it's something that I couldn't afford to keep doing. I couldn't moderate like I should have. It was like either cut it out or keep getting sucked in, and I was doing a summer job, and I was finishing my last school year of undergrad, so I decided to focus more on studies, and then
Real life comes first, as usual.
yeah, but
very important.
But I know that there are people out there like you two for budgeting great time and effort to host these podcasts very often, even though you got your own busy stuff and issues. Yeah. So honestly, I would say that thank you guys for doing that for us. Something that I'm not even close enough to doing.
Oh, well, our pleasure. We hope and we appreciate those of you that enjoy our content. And I'm glad that we can be a source for you.
But just to wrap up that answer question thing.
Yes. What brought you back?
So yes, friends I've been talking to from the Ashes community, well, they've been keeping me up to date a little bit. Not like every single thing, but some information that keep me like asking for more and more. And then I was also prompted to try to upgrade my packages to the royalty recently when I was able to budget enough money, and I did. So so that kind of contributed to me coming back more actively. I was upgrading
Sorios
to
is
Phoenix.
proof positive that peer pressure works, guys.
Yes.
Get up.
One of us.
And well, I would say so far it's definitely worth it, and it's keeping me more engaged than I was outside of it. So, shameless promotion, upgraded PI.
Nice. It's okay. Giving more money to a game that we all believe in is not a horrible thing, as long as you still have food on the table for yourself and a roof over your head.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, for all those people out there that wanna, you come first.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely have faith in the Intrepid Studios, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually studying game design right now, and
Nice.
I'm doing a little bit of everything from coding and art stuff, and I'm just thinking, well, who knows, one day maybe I might try to apply for Intrepid positions, but I'm still finishing up my master's degree right now.
Well,
Get it.
congrats.
Masters is no joke.
No, not at all.
It's not.
I'm over here chugging away on a
everybody
bachelor's.
Yeah, I remember all my friends used to try to taunt me, like, you can't come out and do stuff. No, man, I am working 40 hours a week on school, and I also have a full-time job.
Yep.
I cannot come out and play. Sorry.
I know that feeling.
So, just to revisit, what is your favorite part of Ashes? Like, what got you into Ashes in the first place?
Oh man, well, I'm going to just say real quick of how I got into Ashes. I guess mechanically speaking, is that the one time I actually did browse Facebook. I think I'm kind of old enough to be in that age group, but the one time I actually saw a promotion of Ashes creation, and it's like everything this thing is saying just stood out to me so much compared to everything else. Everything else just seemed like different names slapped stuck onto the same product. But
yeah,
I mean, node system, and then PVX. I've told some people that I really like going into raiding, so mostly PvE, but I also like the idea that the whole world will go on with or without you, and you can make an impact. And I guess a good example I'm thinking is the Stalker games, where it's a first-person shooter where you just go out in the world and you do something, and like you kill someone and then the dead body's still there, or you can go to an outpost and when you leave and you come back, it could be completely destroyed while you were gone. The whole world just changes like that, and the node system seems like concrete proof of that, and I thought that makes it, I would think that increases my replayability dramatically compared to other games I played.
Yeah. Oh
So,
my
yeah,
goodness.
that
Woodchip,
dynamic,
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much,
wow,
Woodchip.
Woodchip. Oh my gosh.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Much appreciated.
Yes. Jeez. Also, thanks for resubbing. 17 months straight. Jeez.
Oh wow.
I forgot we were
Actually, I
going
think
that long.
18.
18. Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's on 18. I think. Wait, was it 17?
Oof, I don't know.
thought it was
The
18.
thing over here
No,
says 17. Meow. But that's pretty much sums up the first comment that I saw, and I kind of reiterated this. Check out your YouTube page where we upload. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the bot. I'm such a dork. Check out our YouTube page, guys, where we upload our podcast.
Look at you, Woodchip. You got her all frazzled. She doesn't even know what's what anymore.
To be fair, I was kind of already frazzled. But yes, speaking on our YouTube page, which Sorio brought up a great point. I'm sorry, we are a little bit behind. We are working on restructuring our workflow. So basically it goes from my computer to Vertex. Vertex does the editing and gets it set up, and you troll me.
I would never.
But Yeah, we're working on our workflow just to make sure it's a little bit more smooth, a little bit easier. Plus, we have some exciting news that means that maybe that workflow would be a little easier on the both of us. So again, we'll get back to that. I know I'm leaving you guys in suspense, but that's because Ashes is more important right now.
Yes.
And
yeah, to an extent.
yes, right. With all of that, there has been a huge amount of new posts practically daily on the Reddit and the forums. Sorios, have you had a chance to follow the Ashes of Creation Reddit?
Yes, I've looked at some responses to updated news about the features like fishing and gathering and enchanting. And I mean, I do have, these are like fresh opinions. I'm not sure if
that's
they're
perfect.
concrete 100%, but like for fishing, the hotspot, like where you can compete for it, that seems pretty. I'm not saying like they should try to make the whole game 100% realistic, but I mean, I'm all up for that immersion. Like you really have to. This is PvX. You're gonna go against anyone that's against you when you're trying to compete for, certificates, as Steven mentions, and I think that would include fishing. So.
And there's actually a post that talks about that, and we can definitely delve more into that because they actually brought up a really good point. I've never played, was it Archetypes online? Is that what the AA?
I haven't either.
Okay. So
but
I'm
I've
gonna
heard some things about it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go into that post here in just a second because that was really interesting to me too, with like the fishing systems. But really quickly before we move on, Vertec wanted to make sure that I asked all of you guys. Please tell us if you know anybody who's a new content creator to Ashes of Creation. We'd love to have them on for an interview, just as we have our wonderful sword brother Sorios. And, we want to know your suggestions so that we can bring them on and talk to them. We want to know who you guys want to hear from and who you guys want to know more about. We're always down for new faces. After all, we are a content creator / community-based podcast. So just real quick, moving along, let's go ahead and go back to that fishing post. So there was a post. I'm sorry, I might get a CC myself, who knows. Let me know. So that's a great point. I Like Art says AA 1.0 was great but killed by pay to win. But this was posted by u/Hados McWombat. And basically they were saying, hey Steven, we know that you played I believe it was Archetypes. And basically laid out that Archetypes had this thing where you could go out on a boat and fish, and it was like sport fishing kind of thing. But other people could apparently, let me just straight from what they wrote. Fishing in Archetypes, though, had sports fishing. You'd literally need to acquire a fishing boat, then go out into the ocean and chum the waters and cast your line. When you hooked a fish, it gave you a new set of skills, and you also played a sort of mini game. But that mini game was like a legit, basically fighting the fish. You had to defeat the fish without letting it go. The closer you could reel it to your boat, the better. Once dead, you'd still have to loot it yourself, but doing so put the fish on the back, on your back as a pack, and you could only hold one at a time. You'd have to put it in one of the fishing holds on your boat, or if you got a really big fish like a marlin, attach it to the crane on your boat. Each fish you caught could be sold for a substantial amount of money. Players could also steal your fish though, but it was not exactly easy to do. It did create interesting conflict though, and they were saying if it was more like that, then it would be interesting because it is supposed to be a PvX world, right? PvP. It'd be super interesting, and I've never experienced fishing outside of Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft, so I just kind of wanted to get your opinion. What do you think?
My opinion on that, I'm honestly kind of all up for stuff that would push to emphasize the PvX content. So, well, the mini game a bit, that idea, I mean, I guess it kind of sounds fun, and I can understand why people would like that because it would make it more engaging for them. to fish, something like that. But I guess for me, I'm fine with no minigame. I'm also fine with the minigame. It's like I'll just go to get my fish before I get killed by some ganker.
Yeah.
And I don't need a minigame on top of that to worry about getting attacked.
That's fair.
Despite the corruption system.
Vertec, what's your thought on the subject? Oh, yeah, no sound.
Oh,
there we go.
I'm quiet. Sorry. As far as that goes, I'm neither here nor there so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I missed what was the give me like a 10 word summation.
Basically,
Sorios, on your.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I
missed part of what you said. I'm going to be honest.
I was just saying that I can do either, but I'd rather have no minigame and just get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's kind of my view on it. But see, there's some people that want, and I'm of this mindset every once in a blue moon where I want to go out and do something mindless, but there's only so much you'd really be able to handle of doing like a mini game when it comes to gathering or fishing or whatnot, because if you're trying to do that for an hour or two and you have to do a mini game every single time, it's not that like that zen thing that you go out and do. It'd be fun for a little bit. Like, kind of my opinion on it from way back, when they had the I guess the timing to get the critical hits. Like, they had the little bar that build up, and if you hit it at the right time, you got like an extra thing that they were playing with and decided to trash.
Mm-hmm.
My view on it was, if you can do a baseline just fine, but the timing of it, or in this case, like the fishing and whatnot, a mini game would give you a bonus if you do it that way, then so be it. Because then you could have your mindless fishing and your mindless gathering of this and your mindless chopperwooding and all that. They can go out and just do like random gatherable stuff, and you can still get a decent income from it, but it'll be that like zoning out, just like watching a Netflix thing over here and whatever. Or if you could get, say, like the chance to get like a 10% bonus or something if you do the mini game. There's going to be some people who are going to push really hard and do that mini game every single time for 12 hours straight, and those are going to be the dedicated people.
I honestly like the idea of having a little bit of reward of doing something like that. It has a purpose, like incentive, more than just simply getting what you need. But I mean, you don't do that in real. I mean, I'm not gonna get into that. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I figure, me personally, I could go either way with it. I'm not terribly picky, and kind of along the lines that you had said. But when it comes down to, if there is just a 10% difference between doing the mini game or just letting it go and you just have to click the thing when it's ready, for like fishing, for instance, like you have to react to the fish, right? You're not going to go out, cast a rod in real life and just sit there, come back 10 minutes later and the fish is still on your rod and your rod has not gone into the water.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to react for the fishing and whatnot, but either way, with all the gatherables, if there's a 10% difference, that means it's not enough to break the bank if you don't do it. But if you do it and you're dedicated, there's enough benefit in there to make it worth your while.
I think I agree pretty much with what you two say. Also, the difference between Ashes Creation and games like World of Warcraft is that with the PvP, you can actually drop materials. One of the materials could definitely be fish. So if you really want my fish, and I've gone fishing recently and I have a good load of it, then you could really engage in a PvP with me, and I think if I die, whether or not I fight back, I still drop some resources. So technically, if that's a resource, could definitely be able to, I guess, fight me for that. In which World of Warcraft, you don't really have that ability. I think you kill me and then that's it. Mm-hmm. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you are. I just remember just waiting for the bobber to come up in WoW, and then I just get some junk or some actual fish or maybe a rare mount.
Yeah. And also, I mean, as Z mentioned, you know, like the pastime where it's like a relaxing thing that some people do, like where I've seen streams where people will do fishing or just crafting, and they're just sitting there while they're like chatting with Twitch, etc. Just something to do on the side. I don't know, just doing homework. Got your fishing over there kind of thing. So
yeah, like how about this? Like as far as mini games go, how about if the mini game is the preparation for fishing? Not sure how many people have played Final Fantasy 15, but the way they did fishing, you had to have certain lures to be able to go out and catch certain fish. And certain other fish were big enough and strong enough, you had to have a better pole to be able to catch them.
Mm-hmm.
So like your fishing skill alone wasn't, all there is to it. You had to get a better pole to be able to get it, which I guess you could substitute with just getting fishing skill, so be it.
Yeah.
But if you had to get certain lures or certain bait even to get certain fish, that I think would be interesting, especially if they have only spawners for certain fish in certain areas. Because then you'd have to do all the preparation ahead of time.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Wood chip. We're gonna do some seaside comparisons.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about
Moving on.
the reaction of the most recent dev update for July 31st. What was your response to that? How did you feel about that?
So, I mean, I will also... Okay, I'm just going to say that I have been watching maybe at least half to most live streams even since that summer when they started to change it to monthly instead of like bi-weekly. And, I mean, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it's another stream where I see like visual updates or engineering updates, and it's good all around to hear that progress. And then for this week, I mean, the particles just look spectacular. I did see the response where they look great, but we don't want to be able to see what's going on. And I was like, okay, I can see where they're coming from. So yeah, as long as it's not obscuring my vision of what is going on, I'm fine with it. Just tone it down a bit, I think, and make it still look great, and I'm up for it. I mean, I like the blink. I'm actually thinking of rolling a dwarf mage or summoner, and so it's giving me something more, it's giving me something to be more eager and excited for, just being able to do that with my mage.
I'm excited. Yeah, I saw a lot of on the forums, like which class combination are you most excited to play in Ashes, and it was kind of cool to see those kind of pop back up again. All the excitement around the classes. Denier, right?
Yeah. That actually, I just realized I have the background from an earlier live stream.
Yeah. So Sorios has like the fake background thing, so he's seeming kind of ghostly, I know, but I think it's the green screen situation going on over there.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, Kashkush, Sorios is a ghost. He's been gone for a long time. He left our world many moons ago. We brought him back specifically for this show.
Glad to
and
be
also
back.
the shout out to Eye Heels.
yes. We are gonna actually be updating that. Side note, we're reaching out to a friend of ours to do the artwork on the new emotes. So yeah, we'll have
Get
those
started
coming
on that.
soon. TM.
I am going to say that real quick. I did. I did come back for the times when they were hosting APOC. So, but other than that, I guess I'm not sure really when I was really back. It sort of felt like that a lot of us were as Shay's put it, hibernating in between big stuff like this when Steven was interviewing.
It's about right.
Yeah, it's been, as I put it, kind of a desert for actual like game news information to go off of in terms of content creation, which is why we went down to every other week. But it looks like we're gonna be weekly going forward here.
Just about, yeah, we're just about to that point.
Yep.
Probably, I mean, from the looks of it, maybe starting in September-ish.
Yeah. And especially with the once Alpha 1 comes out, and they did say it will be non-NDA, Vertec and I would like to try to grab some time to be able to play it for you guys as well, and hopefully build up a following and, if we can get to partner or something, maybe we can actually have our old podcast longer than 14 days.
Yeah. We'll definitely, when NDA drops or when NDA is gotten rid of, we'll definitely be streaming weekly for this podcast. And then throughout the week, we'll also probably be doing a stream here or there in game in the alpha client. Yep. And if you guys wanted to see like certain aspects of it, we could always run over and try to show you what's going on with that.
You could come kill me, probably. I die very easily, I promise. Yes, we.
Oh yeah, Potato. We definitely backed.
We backed the game. Yeah. Actually, that's how we definitely met. Backed it. But yeah.
Yeah, we went into the Phoenix Initiative levels royalty, so we bought in and bought in deep.
For me, I started small, and then over time, I escalated up. I was just like,
yeah, same.
Oh, I can upgrade. Cool, upgrade. Little bits at a time.
I went bananas.
Yes. We did do the pre-alpha 1 test.
Okay, Witcher. See you in a bit.
Okay.
But yeah. Once we get the NDA dropped and we can actually start really showing stuff, we'll be streaming throughout the week. So if anybody has ideas on what they'd like to break, let us know, because the more stuff we break right now, the less they have to fix later.
Exactly.
Break it now while it's the systems they're actively working on before they start building extra stuff.
What is it, Wreck-It Ralph? I'm gonna wreck it.
Yeah.
I wanna wreck it.
Right. But yeah, aside from that, I thought it was kind of cool for the newest development update to see kind of more of the crafting stuff, as well as the once again revised particle effects and stuff like that. So
the particle effects.
Hopefully, as they go forward, they keep finding new ways. Apparently, there was a new update that came out with Unreal Engine 4. I forgot what it was called. It sounded really cool though. But I guess hopefully that should help with really lowering the strain on the systems going forward. And ideally,
all I know is they said higher quality, lesser strain.
Exactly.
So that's always good.
I think it might have been Niagara.
There was also something else they were talking about, like Medusa or something like that.
I don't know.
I forget the name of it.
It sounded cool though.
Yeah, right? So there was a really hot topic on the Reddit, and a really hot topic. No, I was kind of laughing at Toxic Apes. That fake laugh killing me. But enchanting gear. Some people have some very, very opposed viewpoints on that. Some people think it's great, and some people think it's horrendous, like the most terrible thing that could happen to a game.
Yeah.
Did you catch what that was all about, Sorios? Like what exactly the system they said they were going to be using?
Yeah, so, and I'm just going to say it the way I understand it from reading it. It's that you can have a chance to roll to enchant it to have better properties, but with the higher you go, the riskier it will be. So like 1 to 4, there'll be no damage. Like, and then 5 to 7, it will get damaged, but then 8 to 10, then the weapon will be destroyed entirely.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's.
So with that in mind, and as I also had a couple of discussions with other friends, and we were all kind of on the same line of if it's optional to be on par with some like legendary gear, like, hey, this gear you got, you can make it like better, but like slightly not like the legendary gear might be slightly better than what you have, but you can get pretty close to that. If it's optional to have it like that, not the only way to get to the top tier end gear, then I'm fine with it. But if it's the only way, then that ain't gonna fly with me. Yeah.
See, I like, and Heels, you were saying that it's pulled almost directly from Lineage 2. There was actually I used to make my greatest memories with MMOs when it came to just testing all the new alphas and betas that were coming out. Like I would go through and I would just search games in alpha testing, and I would find them and jump in and play them. So I played through a ton of games for like 6 months at a time before they went full launch, and then I would drop it and walk away.
Wow.
But there were a ton of games that did that enchantment system. One was called like Risk Your Life. It was actually a pretty decent game, but it ended up going down the toilet. It was just I don't know. It was there and then it wasn't, but it had the same system. And I think it worked out pretty well because if you didn't want to risk your stuff, you didn't have to. Things were balanced more around the having +4 on your gear so that you could get the free upgrades that aren't going to damage your stuff. I say free because you're not going to lose your gear.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would do the balancing of everything based on everybody should have +4 as a baseline. But then if you went higher than that, you were going to have a much, much easier time. And you may not need to get that upgrade from the dungeon because you've spent so much time upgrading these to get to like a +9.
Mm-hmm.
And that +10 is where people would get stuck at. They would just push it up to +8. Okay, I got lucky. +9, I got luckier. And then they would just not do +10.
Yeah.
Because they just didn't want to.
And I mean, I understand where Steven's trying to come from with the whole let's enchant it to a certain point and then you're going to rely on other players to fix the gear if it breaks. But it seems like one of those things that might be more of a hassle than it is helpful. I haven't personally played Lineage 2, so I don't know how that actually goes, but right about what you were explaining is what I expected from that, where people are kind of, unless you're somehow made a lot of gold where you can afford to fix the armor piece should it break from enchantment, then I don't think you're going to see people really pushing it past a certain point. But I do appreciate the idea of relying on each other so that everybody's, how do I put it? Everybody's crafting capability is as useful for something, if that means, or always useful for something, if that makes sense. But I feel like there's a better way to do that. I mean, it's like you're going so high with the ability to enchant that it's getting really hard to even get it to enchant in the first place. So for it to break, and then you have to go get that repaired. I don't know. It's a toss-up. I don't exactly know where to stand on that one.
I'm just thinking. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead. You're the guest.
You're the guest. Go for it.
I was just saying that I was thinking. This is making me think about the parlor games. That I mean, that's one aspect of the game that will be based on chance, and it's kind of. I mean, the game that we all played. I mean, we all played WoW. You played WoW, right, Vertec? Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was all
I can neither
pretty...
confirm nor deny, but maybe I did.
But we all played it. I played that game too for a long time up until Legion, and it was pretty safe for all the time, and it didn't feel as rewarding or satisfying. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm condoning or not condoning the enchanting thing entirely like that, but I mean, having the parlor games, for example, kind of gives some kind of thrill or risk that people can look forward to when playing the game. Like I can win big or I can go home empty pockets.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe some people who want that kind of thrill, even though they worked a lot of time on that, it is still a gamble. And if it's optional, then I feel like, well, you know what, go for it. But I just think like if they added some risk versus reward stuff like that, I mean, I think it's fine for the game, in my opinion.
Right, so yeah, but think about this though. So for one, there's, as Diggs was saying, some people like to be more cooperative and share the wealth, so to say, and they'll be there to help for a decent rate, but not like an exorbitant rate to sit around and help people repair their stuff. Then again, there's people that are going to be making their living off of repairing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be an expert craftsman of stuff, and one of the main things they're going to do is hang around near a raid and be like, all right, who needs repairs? Got you, I'm here. I even have all the mats. It's just going to cost you X amount for repair of this or that.
Yeah.
They'll have a business model all set up, and they'll make it rich doing that too. I guarantee you. But here's another thing to keep in mind is with gear that is not bind on pickup, it's not soulbound, right? That means that people can play up to the very top tier that they possibly can. They're going to +10 that gear, and as soon as they grab another piece of gear that's better than that, they're going to sell off that +10. It's gone.
Right.
Somebody else gets a +10. All they had to do was buy it. They didn't even have to go adventure to find it. So there's going to be lots of hand-me-downs like that. And the other nifty thing to think about is, what if a guild is really competitive, but also wants to help support many people getting through content, right? So they have the entire guild supporting the enhancement of gear, and gear becomes guild property.
Oh, and then
You
once
put
you
your
don't need
first
it, you can give
40-man
it back to
raid
the
through,
guild.
and then the main tanks and main healers and whatnot trade their gear off to the second string healers and tanks. They get that super ultra mega gear that the guild helped put together, so now the second group can start running through.
I kind of like what iHeals just said. They said, I think it kind of depends on how impactful each level is. If it's minor, then it's not a huge deal. But if the enchantments are required for compete, then it's going to be kind of an awful grind. With the action combat aspect, I think min-maxing isn't going to matter as much as skilled compared to other MMOs. Yeah, and that's the other thing, is just like trying to figure out like if maybe your guild isn't as well built or something. Like, for example, a group of small friends that are just playing together versus a whole like, we are here solely for Ashes and we want you to join us, like we're part of. But basically, I think in that case, you may not have the same materials that a more substantial guild could have, and it's part of the game. Like, if you are playing by yourself, you're clearly not going to have the same benefits as playing with a guild, etc. It's part of the whole compelling reason to join a guild and play with other people. But it's just one of those things. I don't know. I'm curious. I still don't know where to stand on this. It's like I could see one way and I can see the other, and I could see where things could go wrong.
Yeah, I got one other thing to add in there, because Diggs was asking a question saying, is it required to complete or required to compete? Keep in mind, Steven did say that the dungeons and raids are going to be scaling based on your performance. Not really like your level, but how well you do. If you hit the first boss and you clear it in X amount of time, or you avoided certain amount of things, then it's going to make the next boss harder.
Yeah.
And the next boss harder if you keep doing well. So if you're wearing super awesome strong gear, the bosses are going to get harder and harder and harder and drop better and better rewards.
Kind of gives
if you don't
incentive
have everything
to
all
min-max
plus
a
10,
little.
yeah, it's going to be incentive too, but maybe not required to. So you could go through with a +0 set of gear and you're doing okay, acceptably, and you're really skillful with everything, but you're not quite powerful enough to clear it quickly enough, or to power through certain like damaging mechanics or whatever. So it keeps it at a steady increase, but only as much of an increase as it should, going from one boss to the next, and you don't get the greatest rewards. But if you do +10 everything, you're going to get the baller treasure chest at the end, and it's going to explode like a loot pinata, and you're going to get all the awesome everything. Yeah.
This conversation actually brings up another conversation posted by u/Adelheid. Basically, to surmise it, should there be a gear set so hard to obtain it would take a guild an obscene amount of time to even hope to try to get it? And there's a whole conversation around it, but basically Steven has mentioned before that, you know, the best gear is going to be crafted rather than dropped, but should there be a 0.000000001% chance of a really extremely rare piece of gear to drop in the game? I just kind of generalized. What do you guys think?
Well, there's what I think, and then what has already been said, because Steven's already said there will be legendary gear that is going to be the absolute best, but you're only going to see 1 or 2 of them on a server. They're going to be so rare. It's going to be super duper rare, but they're going to be incredibly powerful.
Can you remind me if those are crafted or if those are found?
Those are going to be found.
Okay.
But at the same time, like, the question, I guess, was, should there be? And I think absolutely. Like, in a game where it's risk versus reward and time spent to get a reward out of it, absolutely. If you're going to spend a whole lot of time looking for something, there should be a reward to give you something to seek out.
Yeah.
If your guild is all powerful and they've defeated all the content and blah blah blah, but they haven't found that legendary thing that some other server found, yeah, give them something to aim for.
Yeah.
I would actually agree with that if they, and I am actually, and I do have faith that the Intrepid Studios would do this, but yeah, if they can make the experience fun and engaging while you do it, instead of being slogged, and I'm all up for it, and I'm very much looking forward to that progression where the difficulties and loot scales depending on your performance. Like if you're at your peak, then you definitely deserve that. But
Yeah.
you know.
Like, the one thing I'm actually hoping for.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna repeat some of the things that the chat is saying.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just I guess my closing statement on that is I'm not sure if you remember the achievement from the WoW game, but it has the WoW game, but it's the what a long strange trip it's been, where it takes you like an entire year of grinding and purposely doing everything on this list of chores to get this achievement.
All the holidays, yeah.
Oh.
I kind of really hope that is a thing as well. And with Richard, and with them saying that there's not going to be any kind of a list of things to do or like a guideline on everything, that means that somebody's going to accidentally stumble across this achievement and wonder how the hell they got it. And they're gonna have to look through like all their records if there's a constant record, like again, like how WoW keeps it, and there's a couple other games where it'll tell you how many times you fell from the biggest height and like how many times you've killed this and how many times you died to that, and you'll have to look through all that and say, I don't know, but if you do all of this stuff, you'll get it, I guess.
Yeah. So coming back from some of the things in chat, Potato Basket says, oh, by the way, hi Potato Basket, first time saying your name, welcome. Time is a bad performance metric since it encourages you to rush things, which I could definitely see that. Koshkush says, I think 0.0001 should be like the minimum chance. iHeals puts out a good reminder. Steven said it's great to always have a chance at something epic, even if it's really low. And I also agree with the sentiment that it makes epic moments a lifetime memory. Kind of like when you're playing D&D and there's that like one really cool thing that happened that technically shouldn't have happened, but your DM allowed it. And then you just like talk about it for years. Like it's really cool to have something like that. Dig says, I think it's fine. I don't need to be best in slot. I want to look cool and have fun stuff to do, but I don't need to be the best or look the best. I do want to be unique. My main in EQ2 wore starting rags up through level 80. Wow, that's pretty cool actually. Toxic says, I wouldn't agree putting best items only on bosses. I would say that there should be mobs with like a 0.001% chance drop for absolutely all times. Solo players dodge often lineage because they can't finish full gear playing alone. Small, almost impossible, but it's a start. Yeah, I agree. Tarlac, hi, welcome. I also haven't seen your name, and Toxic, I haven't seen your name either, so welcome to both of you guys. The unique mounts are pets items, social group skills, and quest rewards. That was already confirmed by Steven. That only one or few will be able to have is really cool feature, in my opinion. I agree as well. I think it's really an interesting concept. I think it's kind of cool to already have like the legendary stuff in place. I didn't exactly follow that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, if anything, Vertec and I learned that even some of the mobs have a chance to drop a really cool item, because when we were playtesting pre-alpha 1, we got
kitted out in some great gear.
Yeah, we killed a mob, random mob, not even the boss mob, and got some really great gear. And then we were trying to kill like a boss mob, hoping that it also dropped something good, but it was actually a random mob before the boss, and we are not cheaters, jeez. But there was a random mob before the boss. I
believe it's pronounced explorers. I think it's how you actually pronounce that word.
But there was a random boss before the final, or random mob, before the boss mob that dropped the weapon that we were trying to find. We're like, oh great, we got some awesome gear, but like I'm still hitting this thing like I'm poking it to death. So but it was kind of cool to see after they did the recording and everything, released it on YouTube, that it was just a random other mob that we were just like, just leave him be, let's kill the boss. But yeah, let's see, Steven said scaling based on performance wasn't going to be time based. Yeah. But yeah, let's see, not getting that Mythic Plus or Grift time trial thing. Yeah, oof. That's gonna be an interesting situation. Take some HP potions with you. Yeah, right? It was actually
dangerous to go alone. Take this.
it was actually kind of funny because we were like observing from the other side. And we were like, oh, we ran into Steven and Maggie. Well, let's not get in the way. And we're watching it later and we're like, Chibi, help. Oh, look, there's Vertec. And we're like over here being like, let's not get in the way of them fighting.
He hid in the bushes for the rest of their
pretty much
adventure in that area.
But yeah, so is there anything before we move on to some of the community stuff that I came across that you wanted to touch on, like news-based, that you found interesting or surprising, or you're glad maybe they might have changed their opinion on it?
You mean regarding the...
Well, just because you just came back, so like if there's any news that you've recently learned about that's intrigued you.
Yeah, let me think. I mean, where to start, honestly. One thing someone brought to my attention. This, I don't know how old these news are, but I mean, someone brought to my attention, like, your certain traits you put on your character will affect stats, so pretty nice. At least that's how I understood it. And
so excited for the character generator. Ugh.
Oh yeah. I haven't played, so I just upgraded a royalty after they did the first test, so I haven't even done that myself. Can't wait to check that out. But
yeah, heads up, it's pretty limited. You've only got a certain amount of things that you can do, but they did say that they would like to pre put out a character, kind of like, I don't know, I think Final Fantasy 14 did this, where you can download a client that allows you to customize your character, and you can save that, and then when the game actually launches, you can somehow import it or get it into the game and then already have your character pre-made instead of spending hours trying to do it at launch.
Yes.
So,
yeah, they definitely gonna do that.
I'm super excited for that, just to play around, especially with the Tolnar.
Yeah, I really can't wait for that. But also something else, someone pointed out to me that Steven was emphasizing, like, oh, this is a game that will take a lot of time for you to play optimally, like to the end game on one character alone. And he was making out to be where at best you could get away with this at 2 to 3 characters, because it will require so much time. And it's like, I was so looking forward to trying out all the race or classes, but I guess I'll just go with the ones I really like the most. He was saying, well, you can try testing them out and seeing which one you like the most, and then, you know what, I guess I'll do that.
Yeah, that's actually...
Take each one up to 25, get a secondary archetype, be like, all right, next class.
And that lazy
I'm gonna take this one all the way up.
And
that lazy peon...
Go ahead, sorry.
Video, I mean, kind of reinforced what he told me about, like, oh, it would take this much time. Like, what, 4 to 6 hours a day for 40 something days.
Oof.
Yeah.
To get a level cap.
But that's the other thing that I'm super excited about with testing, is actually being able to try out the combinations before they actually come out and kind of get a feel for, like, overall what the primary secondary crossovers are going to feel like. Oh yeah, BDO as well. I didn't really play BDO. I tried it once, but I think my computer wasn't quite ready for something like that, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm done. So I had it on my computer for like 5 minutes, but it looked super pretty.
My computer would turn into a stovetop at first, can't handle it very well.
But it looks super pretty, and I really liked the realistic look of BDO, which is why I really appreciated Ashes of Creation when I saw that. But yeah, I don't know. One more thing I just kind of wanted to put out there was that Vanilla WoW game designer showed interest into Ashes of Creation, and this is kind of interesting to talk about. You want to go ahead?
No, I'm sorry. No, I just had to do something. You were going to read the post, or?
Just kind of go over it real quick. Basically, this was posted by u/Neskeiska. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to butcher your names. But basically, Intrepid hiring Kevin Jordan said he is interested in joining the team to provide his expertise and experience in game design. And there's also, in this post, which I'll go ahead and link to you guys, his reaction to Lazy Peon's summary as well. There you go.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. To be honest, like, just the amount of insight from the industry that somebody like that could bring. I mean, there's a lot of, veteran developers with Intrepid already. There really is. But when you're creating a brand new product from the ground up and you're adding in some interesting systems with a custom back end, you can, I think anyway, I don't think you could ever really have too many viewpoints as long as you keep the direction singly focused, like one person's calling the shots on the direction it's going, but takes the input from everybody. You could never get too many viewpoints on, hey, we tried something like that and it went this way.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you know, and then, they can steer and redirect as needed.
Mm-hmm.
But at least the information's brought up.
Yeah. I wonder, will they make a huge island that moves around map on water? A huge turtle? ? And there would be like unique rare farming zone, or fifth element, something else. Yeah.
I remember mention of 15 legendary / world bosses in the entire world. I don't know if moving turtle would be one of them.
That would be kind of cool for one of the island, maybe, or the water-based nodes.
I mean, maybe if there's a turtle out there floating in the sea, maybe that could hold the fishing world boss.
Yeah. Sorry, Great Falls is Avatar: The Last Airbender turtle style.
I like it.
I like it too. Okay, let's see. Kind of wrapping it up a little bit, going towards more of the fan focus side. Man, there's so many things. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I'm sorry. It's been a while since we had so many awesome
I mean that's something we could talk about for days. It's just the community has gotten so much more active.
Yes.
And there were some that were afraid it was going to end up getting toxic when there was an explosion, but I don't see it as having gotten blah. Like, people are actually legitimately interesting questions and putting forth interesting views and really getting active and talking deeply about a lot of this stuff, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, for example, this Get Fit with Ashes of Creation Discord edition.
Oh god, no.
This one really cracked me up. I enjoyed it the most, I think. Sorry, let me fix some of this. It's stuck. There we go.
Unstuck.
There we go. Unstuck it. Let me move this up a little bit. There we go. So basically, there's when somebody mentions multi-box, which, by the way, they did because of the community, and this is a good example of why Intrepid might be a good company to possibly listen to and/or back, is because with their most recent reactions to the multi-boxing thing, they've decided to put up a whole discussion board on whether or not multi-boxing was a good idea. You guys can go participate. I will grab the link somewhere, or maybe Vertec can. But that's another thing. Whenever somebody mentions DPS meters, which has some of these have stack up to 3 times per hour or a 1 hour cooldown. I really love these. This is hilarious. I would be jacked,
Every
right?
time.
So, guys, during the whole can't go outside, this is your new workout regime if you're interested. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I don't really get to see stuff like that very often, so
it's definitely creative.
Yeah.
But I think I'm good with my dumbbells for now.
Also, one of the things that Vertec is absolutely obsessed with is the Vec. And
I don't blame you, honestly. They intrigue me as well.
This is by Prieston, I believe. And he drew a Vec Necromancer, and it looks really cool, in my opinion. The exercise, lol.
I'm trying to see if I've seen it. Yeah, it's all green, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty green with a lot of skulls and everything. It's really cool, in my opinion.
In hindsight, I kind of wish I bought those cosmetics, but it seems pretty Eldritch, which I guess when you think about it, I mean, they're looking to the stars.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it took me a moment to dig up that link, but yeah, there's the link for the poll for multi-boxing and whatnot. If you want your voice to be heard, feel free to dive in and at least click a button.
Yeah.
I will say that I had a negative experience with going against a multi-boxer, but I can see the other side of the coin, and it's maybe if it's regulated, this wouldn't be too bad. But I have dealt with trauma with that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. They in my viewpoint, like multi-boxing to a degree is fine. If people have two computers and they want to be able to have two things, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because it could totally be somebody going out there gathering and none of their friends are online. There's no mercenaries online. The guild isn't online. They're just late at night, can't sleep. They want to go gather.
Mm-hmm.
But they have their max level, like, fighter, super awesomely geared, powerful person. They just want to put on auto follow so that they can run around and gather stuff. And if somebody comes to mess with them, they can just rotate and completely kick ass.
Destroy you, yeah.
Defend their own gatherer. I mean, they're only going to be able to focus with one computer or the other, right? It's when it gets into the fact people use applications where you can push one button and both accounts react.
Yeah.
That's where I have a problem, and that's where I think that's a no-go.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents anyway. I mean, if the application's going to get in depth enough, they could do a whole lot of stuff to kind of disguise what's really happening, but Intrepid will need to come up with a lot of things, and they said they already have come up with a lot of things like behavioral patterns and such that the system is going to be analyzing.
Yeah.
Which is good. It'll cut that down, but yeah, as long as it's not actually botting and automated, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. For me, I don't really have a preference. I mean, I've totally played 2 instances of World of Warcraft at once, but it was usually like me trying to fly myself from one part of the map to the other part of the map, which is not really going to be a thing in Ashes with flying unless you're like super rare or whatever, like, you know, mayor, queen, etc. But, you know. But I kind of want to circle back to something iHeal says before we do. A meme that was kind of created from the last live stream is it's a tough life being a Frognar, and that was posted by u/Randy_B_K. And so iHeals wants to say, can we discuss the Tolnar silhouette and what people think they might be? I know that they're mammalian and reptilian, but it's an interesting thing. I know Fushi and some others are wishing for a fox Tolnar of some sort. But let me see. In Ashes, we will be like tame animals. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a quick answer while he's grabbing the nice bit of info is there's in Ashes there's animal husbandry, so you can tame the animal and be able to meet them. But he's got all the info.
I was just gonna unload that. Yeah. I just wanted to wait until you were done talking.
Oh well, I
didn't want to pipe up.
Sorry.
No worries.
It's been a long day.
That's all. It has. But yeah, toxic. There is animal husbandry, so you can tame, but then you can also do, certain amounts of crossbreeding. They haven't said exactly how much, but you can literally make your own chimera or whatever by breeding certain creatures with certain traits, so that you can enhance like the speed or whatever. This is just an example. I don't know if we're going to be able to enhance speed, but you can enhance certain traits of an animal. And who knows? Maybe you can breed a horse that's faster.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Wonder Boy, we don't have an official date for when it's actually coming out yet. They're withholding from setting specific dates until they're absolutely 100% sure, just to avoid any situations that might pop up where they had to push it back. So instead of
they're going to avoid foot and mouth disease.
Yes, that.
But as it sits right now, there's going to be some limited testing coming up here very soon.
Can you get that?
And then, quote unquote, like in the fall, like coming up here again, still very soon because it's not too far away.
Oh, I got it.
Is going to be the actual Alpha 1 testing. Sorry, get what?
I got it. Never mind. It was spam.
Oh. Peace out, buddy.
Yeah, see, you got it. I already got it. Yeah, Steven said each mount will have different stats, so you can breed for more speed, more health, more carry capacity, etc. Yeah, so. I was the Charles Darwin of Wizard 101. I'll have to see what I can uncover experimenting with breeding in Ashes.
Yes, yes.
Another thing I wanted to bring to light is for those of you that did miss the yes, there is going to be an open beta. I think beta 2 might be open. I don't know.
Yeah, so here's my viewpoint on it. They've done some testing in the past, Wonder Boy, where it started off limited to specific groups, and then it expanded to another group, and then expanded to another group, and after a little while, they just opened it up to everybody to play. They may do that towards like beta, but they still have the Alpha 1 and 2. They haven't outright given us any plans or guarantees that's going to happen, but the possibility is there because they've done it before.
Yeah, I played RuneScape middle school, high school era, so yep. But for those of you that missed out on the Ashes live stream, here is Ash's post is one of our favorite. I think it was Ash's post like that. Yeah, check out Ash's post, guys. They are really on top of everything. They always do transcripts of everything that Steven or Intrepid is a part of for Ashes of Creation, including their monthly live streams. It's a great way for, hey, that video is an hour and a half long. If you want to get the gist of it, just skim through that real quick. And also great for, instead of going like, what part was it in that one podcast that they did that they said about this thing, you just go through, skim through it, and find the information a little bit faster. Although the graphics are much nicer to have in going along with it, but you know, it's just
yeah. It's at least if nothing else, you can always go through the transcript and search keywords and say, okay, so it was in this one around that point. Yeah, cool.
Exactly.
Then you can look at the video on YouTube and dive to about that part in the video and look for the actual clip you want.
Exactly.
Super handy.
I know you guys did this in a previous live stream, but I kind of just want to personally give a shout out to Shays for making those transcripts.
Yes, thank you, Shays. And welcome to everyone who is joining us now. So will they input something like a prayer bar, like in RuneScape, but some small amount of become stronger when usually? They haven't.
I think I know what you're talking about.
For specific class.
Yeah, like specific classes at specific times would get stronger than others and whatnot. Yeah, they haven't really said anything about a system like that. There are religions, plural, that you can dive into, or at least religion systems. Yeah. And maybe those will help, something like that.
They haven't given us a whole lot of information on these either, because they're holding a lot for us to explore ourselves.
They're holding a lot back. But there are one interesting system they did is there are the normal food buffs you get in a lot of games. You get a certain food, you get a buff for a certain amount of time. If you are excelling in cooking and that you make that one of your crafts, a carpenter can make you basically a microwave. I'd call it a microwave, but they can make you an oven that you can put inside your house or your freehold, and you can reheat that food and it will increase the benefit you get from it.
Yeah.
So things like taverns and whatnot can possibly put out some good buffs for you.
Yeah.
You just got to visit a tavern and say, hey, let me go ahead and buy some food. And there you go. Now you got an awesome buff.
Pretty much. Invest skill points to make ability stronger. Yeah, pretty much. So you'll have a certain amount of points. You won't be able to, I believe, unlock everything. Oh my goodness. Woodchip, thank you. Welcome, new people. Welcome.
Woodchip to the rescue. Oh my Lord.
Meal prepping in an MMO, right? But yeah, basically, and Woodchip is back, right? Welcome back, Woodchip. Nah, not hardcore enough. But yeah, you won't be able to unlock all the skills, but you'll be able to unlock a certain amount of skills and then increase. McJ! Oh my goodness, thank you.
Oh my gosh, McJ. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Goodness. Welcome, friends. Wow. Welcome. Behalf of our generous friends that we've made. Not letting you run away.
We appreciate it, and especially from such a new face.
Yes.
Haven't seen you around here in these here parts.
Except for last stream. You joined us last stream.
We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah. So, welcome. You want to play McJ? Oh, man. Oh, man. Jalan's here.
Oh, snap.
Jalan's my hero. For serious though, the guy has a mind to remember all the details of everything ever, and it's bizarre and crazy, and I want that skill. I don't know where he gets it.
I'll be honest. I almost thought you said it's Jamil. Like, that guy from
Oh my gosh, yeah, I haven't seen Jamilin ever. Man, welcome.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So I want to just kind of wrapping up here because we've gotten to our 1 hour. Real quick, there is a new face that I found on Ash's, and in fact, there's Ash's Reddit. Sorry, let me finish the thought, I guess. But he made a live stream breakdown as well as a suiting up with armor kind of video. I've noticed that he started making videos as of 9 days ago more consistently, and he made one video about 9 months ago when I believe the last time. Aww. Everyone goes over this week. That's fair. But basically, we're gonna have him on at some point. He goes. He's a user, so u/RitchieSH on Reddit. So if you've gone through the Reddit for Ashes of Creation, you've probably seen a few of his. So we're gonna have him on at some point, as well as yes, Pi, we are also interested in the new cosmetics, which will be dropping on the 5th of August. So the cosmetics you see right over here on screen, those are only here for 4 more days, guys. And I believe it's 11 a.m. PDT that they end.
Thanks.
So
I guess right now they're kind of cooling down. They're not really hot anymore. But yeah, get them while they're still here on the table.
Get them while they're still here, guys.
We're really interested. Really interested to see what they are, because you can never predict what it is. Yeah,
no problem.
Like, it's March. They've got to do something like dwarfy and like green, right? Nope, not at all. Not green, not dwarfy at all.
It was raw and red, and it was like death everywhere. But yeah, got some of the swamp stuff. Yeah, that was really cool too. I like the way that this one looks. Hey, Cheryl, welcome in. Haven't seen you in a minute.
Hello.
But yeah, also Maggie at Intrepid needs us to get her to 10K on Instagram, guys.
Oh, right.
So for those of you that
the swipe up feature.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't understand how Instagram works, you have to have at least 10,000 followers in order to have a thing where you can put it on the story and they can just swipe up and go straight to the link that they're trying to send you to. So whether it's a live stream or a new podcast, or not podcast, but a new discussion, they're able to do that. So yes, thank you, Vertec. There's the link.
There you go.
Please help Intrepid get to 10K followers so they can utilize that super useful feature. And
make life easier for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to go, what's the link? Oh man, I gotta go type it in. Oh man. Which for whatever reason, just there's the YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Woodchip. I didn't have his YouTube, so thank you. But on that note, everybody, please mark your calendars. We're going to have a non-normal stream date. So August.
Very not normal.
Yes, August 14th. We're still working out. I think it's 3 or 4 p.m. PDT. We are going to have Maggie on with us. So please, we have in our Discord an area where you can submit questions. We want to talk to her. For those of you that don't know exactly what Maggie does, she is the marketing lead for Ashes of Creation. So if there's anything at all you wish to know about Maggie, she also likes to cosplay, FYI. She's kind of cute when she cosplays. I saw some of her posts with her, like the little cosplay doing a stream thing, and I was like, that's adorable. So, yeah, please feel free to tune in. We are yes, August 14th. I'm going to try to lock it down at 3 p.m. PDT because we have been told by our wonderful EU friends that earlier is a little bit better for them, just so that it's earlier in their day, not 2 a.m. like 3 a.m. for them. So we're thinking 3 a.m. We're gonna put out an official, or 3 a.m. Oh my gosh, no, I am not gonna be awake at 3 a.m. 3 p.m. PDT. We're gonna put out an official notification. We're wrapping up the exact details with her. Yes, you will get a message, I promise. I will see to it personally.
I will actually hit enter this time.
I will make sure, I'll stand behind him and make sure he's hitting enter just for you.
You know what? I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy something that's gonna let me schedule 73 messages to you through Discord.
Oh my god.
And they're all gonna be like, this is from Vertec. We're going live in 5.
Going live in 5. Yes, we will be posting it in Ash's Media on Discord too. Yes. Also, for those of you who are in your, where can I go get to know how Ashes will use the idea of elements for mages and monsters? There's a wiki. Let me do this for you. Wiki.
And I'm not one to recommend wikis about a lot of stuff. It's more like just search the Google, guy and say, hey, dude, what's the stuff? And Google says, hey, here's the things.
But this wiki is really, really well put together.
Yeah, they get stuff up really quickly and they get stuff up really in depth.
And they cite everything.
Yeah, everything has citations.
Which I love. But on a personal update, and thank you so much, Sorios, for hanging out with us for a second here. On a personal update, Vertec and I will be moving August 23rd, so we'll be gone that week. Not sure.
The entire week we're going to be on the road.
Yeah, not sure if we're going to have a stream that week. Probably not, because we're driving from west to east coast and trying to find a place to live and hopefully setting up decent internet out there as well. So
it's going to be one of those like streaming on our phone, like sitting on a cardboard box because we just got stuff put in, the new place and no internet is set up yet.
Pretty much. Cell phone road stream. Yes, exactly.
There you go.
Yes, across the country. See, basically this man right down here, Vertec, flew out from the East Coast to me and now is convincing me to go back to the East Coast. So, yeah.
It only took like 3 years.
Only 3 years, guys. Where on the East Coast?
Well, we haven't figured out exactly. The job's in Virginia.
Yeah.
But it's either going to be Maryland or Virginia as far as where we're living.
Yeah, not exactly sure.
Not exactly where yet.
So, yeah, Pog. Other than that, Sorios, any last summations of our podcast? Any last words?
Well, summations for this podcast, I would just say, we recap where we introduced myself. We were talking about updates, personal life updates, and then there was
summation for the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood. I'm just going to say that I want to give a shout out to Tayloon because he has been keeping me up to date with some things about Ashes of Creation while I was gone. So
thank you, Tay.
There you go, buddy. And thank you, Intrepid, for working on this ambitious project for these years. And I look forward. I'm very patient, and I'm in no rush to play it. I would like this to age like fine wine, and I'm sure that these guys are more than capable of doing it.
Yeah. Also,
they're almost done picking the grapes.
Keep up the good work, yeah.
Yeah. Also, just as a reminder again, please join our Discord. We have a whole Discord thread. I don't know what to call it. Basically, other content creators that you guys would like to see us contact. So feel free to go ahead and go in there and drop us their name, drop us their link. Let us know. We will do our best to start setting up interviews. There's a couple of people that we would like to interview, such as sorry, I'm blanking on the name right now. Sorry.
You can do it. Regardless, there's we always want to get some people to introduce you guys to.
Yeah.
That's why we spend a lot of the podcast talking about and to the guest and getting their viewpoints on things, getting their history on stuff. And so if you ever have any curiosity about somebody, or you ever want us to have somebody on because you have questions for them specifically, let us know.
Yeah.
Just drop it in the Discord and we'll do our best to get them on.
Yeah. And also,
Woodchip mentioned getting Asmon or Shroud, or we can try, but
I think
know
that's kind of like
tossing.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll see our message.
Dice into the wind.
Doesn't hurt.
And seeing how it rolls.
I tweeted out to Summit, but I don't think you saw, so I tried. But real quick, yes, Toxic. Also, for anybody else who ever has any questions, come join our Discord. We have people that are ready to answer questions, including ourselves when we have the ability to. We have wiki links. We have people excited, Get Woodchip on. Only if Woodchip wants to come on.
I think we tried to ask Woodchip, and Woodchip said, yeah, no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no.
But, we're pretty excited to just have new faces like Sorios on, and, don't mind rotating some old ones in, but we want to celebrate the new people that have just found Ashes and get their content out there, and also fresh eyes out there. So
But yeah, Toxic. I don't have the link directly, but they've said that there's going to be, at least at launch right now, they're planning for the Americas. There's going to be one region at least. Maybe they're going to break one like South America as well for another server down the line. There's going to be one for Europe, and then one for APAC, and Australia I think is going to be getting one. So I forget. There were like 5 different servers.
These might be more.
It's not just going to be like NA only.
Yeah, these might also be great questions for us to store and ask Maggie as well when we have her on. The intrepid people that have all the answers that we don't have all the answers to. But,
yeah, and somebody asked that question actually. Will Brazil receive a server for launch or something around that? And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I missed some of this stream because I was working when it was on. But I believe he said that there would be plans to do so down the line, but it's not confirmed on their actual page that says where we plan our servers to be. So it could be a long down the line, or it could be next year. Who knows?
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, yeah, before they do more demand, they'll try to get it running. Yeah, that's a good example of what Chip just said. So, all right, guys, we appreciate it. There's a lot of packing and stuff that we have to get together, as well as a hitch to fight on my car. So, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Sorios, for joining us. Please feel free to come ask any questions in our Discord. I'll go ahead and run the Discord command again. We'd love to answer your questions when we're not online as well. So, yeah, thank you, Sorios, for giving us your time and your patience and your insight.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and thanks for having me. And also, it's great to catch up with you guys after all this time.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like mine's gonna take 20 million hours. I feel like.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of extra work I had to do.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Alrighty.
But yes, everybody, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Time is super valuable.
You're
spending it with us, so we do appreciate it.
Yes, we plan to be live next Saturday. Yes, I think.
Yes, next Saturday. We already have some people in mind that we're going to be trying to get a hold of. But if you guys have other recommendations or inquiries or requests, which I have taken down some names that people mentioned earlier, please let us know on the Discord.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we can do about them as well.
And
maybe we'll get them next week, maybe another time.
Yeah, next week, 5 p.m. PDT. We'll see you here. And don't worry, we'll send you out all the reminders you need. So, good fun. See you guys next week.
Remember, Maggie on the 14th.
Yes, Maggie on the 14th. Mark that down. Mark that down. Okay. Have a good one, guys.
All right, everybody. Later on.
Good night.
Ciao.